Today I'm reviewing the Garnier Ombrelle Face Sunscreen. And really quick, I just want to say I purchased all these products with my own money. I'll never waste your time with sponsored ads or videos. So if you want to help support the channel, check out nobsbeauty.com, check out my Patreon community, or click on the Amazon link below. Okay, so this was the first sunscreen I bought when I was trying to delve into the non-US sunscreen market. This one I think is made in Canada. It's got some fun filters in it, so I was all about giving it a try. And I think I found it on Amazon too, so that helped. But you have to be careful on Amazon. So make sure the seller is the brand. Otherwise, you don't really know what you're getting. So if it's sold by Garnier or L'Oreal, you're getting the real deal. So just be cautious. Okay, so they say this is specially formulated for the delicate skin of the face and its light texture. And moisturizing formula is developed for a comfortable application and a non-greasy finish. Absorbs quickly and does not clog pores. Ideal texture for normal to dry skin. This hypoallergenic cream is non-comedogenic, fragrance and colorant free, and offers broad spectrum UVA and UVB protection with patented Mexoryl technology. Although, keep in mind, they used a lot of jargon in that, which doesn't really mean anything. Hypoallergenic doesn't mean anything. Non-comedogenic doesn't mean anything. They don't have to prove it. When they say it doesn't clog pores, it's marketing. They don't have to prove it. It's not regulated by anybody. They can say whatever they want. So keep that in mind when you see something like it says on here. Hypoallergenic, that means nothing. That term is not regulated. It's a marketing term. Non-comedogenic, also marketing, doesn't have to mean anything. And sometimes even fragrance-free, sometimes you have to delve into that because it doesn't necessarily always mean what you think it does. So, okay, and I'll kind of talk about each of those specific things that they called out as well. So, okay, my first criteria is packaging, and they've done a nice job with this squeeze tube. No real issues with it. Not exciting, but travel friendly. 75 milliliters. I wonder how many ounces that is, because I think in the US it's 3 ounces. If we ever travel again, I don't know. Okay, in terms of denatured or drying types of alcohol, this does not contain any alcohol. So it does contain some good fatty types of alcohol, which are good for hydrating skin. But the drying types of alcohol, it doesn't have any. So that's nice. In terms of fragrance, this has no fragrance ingredients or essential oils. The scent of it, it almost has a very, very, very light, almost like a vanilla type scent, which dissipates almost immediately. So no issues at all with that. The manufacturing location for this one is Canada, so no issues with that. SPF of this one is 60, and I think the more and more you notice, most sunscreens just say 50 or 50 plus, and it's totally regulated differently. And it doesn't necessarily mean one sunscreen that has 50 plus on it. It could be stronger than this one, but they just can't market it as higher. So keep that one in mind. It's all totally different based on whatever country you're from, which is kind of annoying. I wish we could just get on one system, but that will probably not happen in my lifetime. And the other thing that probably won't happen in my lifetime is the US FDA ever approving a new filter. Probably not going to happen until after I die. Probably like 100 years after I die. Maybe they never will. I don't know. Okay, then we get to the UVA protection factor, and I am more than satisfied that this one contains more than enough efficient UVA ray protection through the uses in this of Avobenzone, titanium dioxide, Mexoryl XL, and Mexoryl SX. Mostly not so much the Avobenzone, but the Mexoryl ingredients are known to really have a great effect protecting the skin from UVA rays. Okay, then we get to the filters used, which I started to talk about a second ago. So we've got 10% Octocrylene, which is an oil-soluble chemical sunscreen agent, which protects the skin in the UVB and somewhat UVA2 range. Its protection is not strong enough on its own, but it's quite photostable and can help stabilize other filters that are less stable, such as Avobenzone. It is also often used to help with water resistance. And octocrylene is one of those ingredients which they're finding more and more people are sensitized by it or sensitive to it. So this one uses 10% of it, which is quite a lot. And I've found some sunscreens with octocrylene can kind of sensitize my skin a bit. Not always when I'm using the sunscreen, but when I go to wash it off, my face can feel a bit sensitized just by even cleansing it, which I think is probably from the octocrylene. And the more and more you use it, the more and more potential your skin can be to be sensitized to it. So 10% is quite a high amount, although most people can probably use it without any issues. There just will be some that will have issues with it. Then we've got 4.15% titanium dioxide, which is a UVA and UVB ray blocker. 3.5% avobenzone, which is a UVA ray absorber. Then we've got 3% Mexoryl XL, which is a L'Oreal exclusive sunscreen agent, which was invented in 1999, commonly called Mexoryl XL, which is an oil-soluble, photostable chemical with both UVB and UVA protection, so very good ingredient. Then we've got the Mexoryl SX, which is also a L'Oreal-owned sunscreen agent. So it is water-soluble and protects in the UVA range. So the Mexoryl SX and Mexoryl XL, L'Oreal owns both of those. L'Oreal owns Garnier, so kind of makes sense. L'Oreal owns so many patents. I think that's kind of like almost their business method or their business strategy on how to make money. We're just going to patent the great stuff, not focus so much on our own products, but really patent stuff and then sell it to other products or brands that want to use it. So kind of ingenious. I wonder how many people they have staffed just in their patent department at L'Oreal. Could be just an entire building of people. I don't know. So, white cast. Let's apply it. So, you'll see it is kind of a thick texture to it. And once you smooth it into skin, it takes a little bit of finesse to really get to smooth in. But once it sets and is smooth in, it does have a white cast to it. I wouldn't say it's a terrible white cast, not as bad as some others I've used. There's one, I think it was Ultra Sun, I applied it and I came out and cameraman looked at me like I was a ghost because it was that white. This one's not that white, but it does have a mild white cast, which the longer you wear it, it kind of soaks in and fades a little bit. Most of it fades out after 20 or 30 minutes, and if you use a foundation over it, you can help hide most of it. So not terrible, but still, it's there. The texture of it is kind of a thick lotion texture, very thick, which makes applying it even more fun. So it does take a bit of effort to smooth into skin, a bit of finesse. It does, once it sets, which it takes a few minutes to kind of soak in and set, but after it sets, it does have a slightly tacky finish. It's not terrible, but it is tacky, and I know some people really dislike that. And if you apply a foundation over it, obviously the tackiness kind of disappears with whatever foundation you're applying it over. But that might make it, if you're not someone that likes to use foundation, which probably a lot of people like to use just sunscreen and nothing else, the finish is kind of tacky, and it does have a tendency to kind of transfer a bit. So keep that one in mind. Okay, then we get to ease of use. Because it's so thick, it takes a lot of effort to really smooth in. And you really have to work it, which is not ideal if you apply a lot of skincare products before your sunscreen, because the more and more you have to smooth it into skin and work it in to help dissipate the white cast, the more chance there is for pilling to occur. And I have noticed pilling with several layers of skincare products underneath it. So you really almost have to use this one as like a lotion if you're going to use it. Don't use a moisturizer. Apply this in place of it. And then also if you use a really matte foundation or a heavy foundation over this one, that can cause the pilling even more. So it is a bit tricky to smooth into skin and get it to look okay without having pilling or other issues like that. And the white cast is kind of, if it didn't have the white cast, you wouldn't have to smooth it in as much. And if you didn't have to smooth it as much, there's less likely for pilling to occur. So you got it. It's not the funnest to use, in my opinion. I wouldn't probably reach for it on a daily basis. There's just other ones I find that are much more appealing to use and don't cause the pilling. So it's not super difficult to use, but it's just not as easy as other sunscreens. Okay, then we get to antioxidants and beneficial ingredients. Not the most impressive list I've ever seen. A lot of slip ingredients. Then we've got a couple good ingredients. Soybean oil, glycine soya, which is a plant ingredient that does contain several amino acids, which is very hydrating for skin. Then we've got vitamin E, great for hydrating skin and also an antioxidant. And that's about it. The rest is all slippy stuff. I'd really like to see some good things in it, especially since they've done their great job with all the filters. But they focused on that and then kind of let everything else go out in the wash, I guess. So, kind of a bummer. Especially when it's that hard to apply. You know, if something's really that great and it works great, I'm going to want to spend the extra effort to apply it. But when it doesn't really have that many other good things going for it, I really don't want to spend the effort to apply it and the pilling and the white cast. I just want to find something else that is a bit easier with some more good stuff in it. That's all. I don't know. Okay, then we get to acneogenic ingredients, and we've got a few. And I should also mention for some of you, there are parabens as a preservative in this, so some people prefer to avoid those, so FYI. We've got dimethicone, vitamin E, and then the soybean oil are all acneogenic ingredients. Most of those probably not terribly so, but still, if you have acne-prone skin, it's something to take into mind. So, okay, then we've got animal testing, and unfortunately, it's not cruelty-free. So, I don't know. Again, you know what? It just seems to be up and down. We've got one criteria where it's great at. The next one's horrible. Next one's great. Next, it's just like, just, I don't know. All over the place. Okay, performance. It does a good job protecting your skin from sun damage. It will do an excellent job at that. It does have a tendency to get a little bit greasy towards the end of the day, and sometimes it can even cause foundation, if you use foundation over it, to kind of break up a little bit, and sometimes even gather slightly into fine lines and wrinkles. So slightly greasy, but not terribly so. Although if you have oilier skin, I have a feeling it's going to be much more noticeable than my dry skin, which I guess is probably why they say it's geared towards those with normal to dry skin. So performance was okay, average, I guess I would say. Not the best, not the worst. Kind of in the middle. Okay, and then we get to price, and this is the full size, which is 2.53 ounces, 75 milliliters. And it retails for about $12, so it's not expensive, which is nice, especially since a little bit does not go a long way at all with this one. So the price makes this about 16 cents a milliliter, making it one of the most affordable ones I've seen all week. So week, month, year, sunscreen year. So very, very affordable. So they've got that going for them. See, it's like we're just back and forth. One thing's great, one thing's terrible, one thing's great. Well, yeah. Okay, so overall, out of 15 being a perfect score, this one got a 10. It's not the lowest we've seen, but it is so far amongst the lowest. So, anyway, I'm interested in hearing from you guys if you've had a chance to try this or if you've tried any of the other Garnier, L'Oreal sunscreens. What do you think of them? Do you like them? Hate them? So, anyway, leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. And stay tuned for more tomorrow. And be sure to check out our live sunscreen live stream on May 2nd. So, thank you so much, guys.